we embarked on Assassin's Creed PSP Bloodlines, I mean, obviously the first thing that came to mind was we were taking Assassin's Creed for the next-gen console, something that was built for the ground up, and trying to bring it over to the smaller handheld experience of the Sony PSP. There's a couple of challenges that go into that, not the least of which is that we're missing a couple of control features, such as two shoulder buttons and an analog stick, and there's a slight drop-off in processing power and visual capabilities. So, the team has, the studio has a very kind of robust engine. The Elemental engine's been used by Kryptonite Games to ship dozens of games on multiple platforms, so it has some of the scaling capability necessary to emulate the console experience on the smaller platform. So, I mean, just from a pure technical standpoint, the things, the sacrifices that had to be made and sort of the optimizations that had to be put into play to bring that experience to bear were pretty draconian in their inception. I mean, every single little bit counts when it all comes down to it. On top of that, there's the consideration of you taking a console experience and bringing it down to a handheld space, which is more of a short burst gameplay, 15-minute experience. Yet you can't lose the immersive world of the Assassin's Creed brand, the Assassin's Creed franchise. So we've tailored that in a few ways by altering the mission structure to go with a more varied, sort of shorter burst missions, more of them per memory block and per session, while still maintaining the depth of of intrigue and depth of story as you move along. Assassin's Creed the franchise is very much about freedom of world, ownership over the entire world, the ability to smoothly transition anywhere you want to go. And the experience on the PSP can be no different. So what we tried to bring into play was keeping the same fundamentals of the Assassin's Creed brand and the same moves and abilities of Altair, even with the limited button set. Now, as far as what sacrifice had to be made from a control standpoint, there really weren't that many. We were able to as closely match and closely map everything as possible, and I think by maintaining a high frame rate and a very smooth feel, we were able to bring the same feeling of Altair and the same feeling of the Master Assassin to the PSP. The key to Assassin's Creed Bloodlines is the experience. The parkour movement has to be smooth, it has to be immersive, and from a development standpoint, it was the first thing that we had to tackle. We spent probably the first several weeks, to several months of development doing nothing but proving out just the ability to do that kind of parkour freerunning on the PSP that has become so popular on the console. The Assassin's Creed Bloodlines for the PSP picks up right where the console version left off. Immediately, after the end of the game, you pick up chasing down the Templars, who, led by Armand Bouchard, have fled to the island of Cyprus, where they've established a larger power base and are starting to rebuild the might of the Templars. Altair, of course, is on his quest to make sure that all ends as neatly or not neatly as possible, as the case may be. As far as the overarching franchise, the character of Desmond and the character of Lucy do not make an appearance in the PSP version. The Animus is used as the obvious bridge to the fact that this is still the view of Altair's memories and you're still playing Altair, but it continues his storyline and also enhances the relationship that started at the end of the last game between Altair and Maria, who are the two primary characters in this version. One of the cool features of Assassin's Creed Bloodlines for the PSP is the interoperability between the PSP and the PS3 version of Assassin's Creed 2. Throughout the course of the PSP version of Bloodlines, you can collect these Templar coins that are used as currency, but can also be transferred over to Ezio within the confines of Assassin's Creed 2, and and gone through some kind of currency exchange into florins that can be used in that game. In addition, as you defeat these Templar captains, these captains of Armand Bouchard, you can collect their weapons and transfer them across to the PS3 version to be used by Ezio. In addition, you can also get these same codices and health upgrades from Ezio and transfer them back to Altair inside the PSP. Assassin's Creed Bloodlines for the PSP will be available this holiday season.